Are you seeing projects getting cut, contracts delayed or completely pulled, funding that felt solid that's suddenly on pause, and nobody seems to have an answer or want to move forward? When the economy gets weird and work dries up, it's easy to feel like the only solution is more and more marketing. But today, I want to show you a smarter, more strategic approach that you can reach for when stuff like this happens so you can get clear, stay grounded, and get clients without burning out in the tactic tornado. If this year isn't going how you hoped it would, and you're looking around wondering, is it just me? You're not alone. And by the end of this episode, you're going to have a step by step way to survive the storm and come out stronger. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, the show that helps coaches and consultants get clear on how to talk about what you do, simplify your offers, and have more fun in your business and beyond. I'm Annie Franceschi, brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. I'm here to help you clarify your message, package your expertise, and streamline your systems to grow a business you actually enjoy. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. When people have asked me how 2025 is going, I've been describing this year in one word: annoying. I live in the United States, and the change in leadership from one administration to another has really shaken things up. From Q1 to Q2, it's almost unrecognizable. For so many people that I work with, people are worried about spending money. Organizations are changing what they're investing in and freezing funds. We're in a moment that's a little bit like a perfect storm. We've got economic shifts, political instability, and the rise of AI. It's shaking up and rethinking entire industries. Even for me, I'm still going to have a great year, but I had been rocking and rolling and had my best year ever last year. I have a whole ecosystem and a plan ready to go. And guess what? It's not going to work perfectly for this economy. At least that's what Q2 is teaching me. Just last week, I asked my Action Club members, how's your revenue this year compared to last? I said, is it up, is it down, or is it the same? 80% of people said their revenue is down. So if you've been feeling like, oh man, is this just me? It might not be. And I want to give you practical points and a framework you can reach for that will help you get clients tomorrow and make the most of the connections, opportunities, and things you've already built. That is not going to require you to become a marketing genius tomorrow and to still see some forward momentum. That is called the Establish Yourself Framework, EST. I wrote an entire book about it, but I'm going to teach it to you right now. It's 3 parts. E, embrace your story. S, shape your business. T, translate your value. It is a process you follow when you need to level up your business and when you need to get more business. So it is a way of thinking when you are going through an uncertain season or you are trying to build a whole new chapter in your business. What do you do first? In what order? You go to EST. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about embrace your story today, and for good reason. If you want more detail on this framework, we have some episodes I'll link in the show notes. Embrace your story. It can be applied in seasons like this. Times when it feels like things are slipping away from you, or you don't know what's going on with the economy or the marketplace, but you got to figure it out fast. People over coffee are going to say, well, you got to fill your pipeline. You got to do more marketing. I think that conventional wisdom is sort of BS. The answer isn't more marketing, because if you just do more marketing with the wrong message and an unclear offer, it's going to backfire. It's going to keep you stuck in a loop. Your answer isn't more marketing. It is more strategic marketing anchored by a clear message and a clear offer. More marketing of the wrong message and an unclear service, that's just going to keep you getting wet in the hurricane. It's kind of like the equivalent of trying to use a box of matches. Somebody else's matches you got for free somewhere, and you're just trying to light match after match, just trying to get it to catch in a horrible storm. What's going to happen? You're just going to end up soaked with a box of soggy matches. What you need to make sure you have is the best possible lighter. You want to be out there with a lighter you feel confident about, that the moment there's a break in the storm, a breath of fresh air, that fire is going to catch like That's the difference. You don't want to just be doing more marketing. You want to make sure you're talking about and marketing something valuable for your ideal clients. And that's where it comes to embrace your story. How do you build that lighter? It starts with that first step of my framework. The EST framework teaches you how to optimize your marketing and get more clients because you approach it backwards. You work backwards from what most gurus are going to teach you. Most folks are going to say more marketing, more marketing, more marketing. I don't want you to start with just marketing to people who've never heard of you. I want you to start by getting clear on the fundamentals of what you are offering, what you are best at, and optimizing the relationships you already have. That's what I like to call embracing your story. This is going to mean things like getting clear on how to talk about what you do, at least in an initial elevator pitch, putting together an offer that you could sell tomorrow, being clear on who that offer is for, and making sure that it solves and defines a real problem and provides a great solution to the person who needs it most. This is a foundation that you can survive the storm with. This is a moment where it's really important and impactful to get clear on how to talk about what you do and have something available for sale. Because when you can talk about what you do, at least in an elevator pitch, and you define something of value that solves a specific problem that a specific kind of person has, then when you meet them or you meet their friend or a referral partner that knows them, you could literally book that client tomorrow. In working with hundreds of coaches, consultants, and service providers over the years, I can't tell you how many people I have Zoom calls with who take 20 minutes to explain what's actually for sale. Too often they're like, well, I do coaching. It's 3 months of coaching. It's 6 months of coaching. When people say that, you're just basically saying, I have 3 months of eggs or 6 months of eggs. I can make you whatever you want. What do you want? Tell me about your brunch. What have you already thought about that I would be hungry for? That is moving from being a salad bar to thinking like a chef. That becomes so important in a moment where the economy is uncertain. We're not going to spend on anything that isn't essential. So we have got to get clear on what it is that we're actually selling. I call this packaging your process, turning your expertise into a clear, tangible offer that's easy to say yes to. Many years, I didn't go around saying, well, I can do your logo and I can do some slide decks for you and a website. I would say, if you want to book ideal clients and feel proud of the work you do, I offer the brand story solution. It's a clear marketing message, a consistent visual brand, and a compelling website that brings all those things together. Now, I could describe that as a logo package, but who wants to buy that? People want to buy brunch. You got to have brunch available because people are only going to spend on brunch in a season like this. When the economy's uncertain, you don't want to show up as uncertain. So it's really important to package your process. How can you offer something not just coaching or consulting, but something really specific to someone so it feels essential and worth investing in? Here's what I want you to understand about this moment that we're in. When the market's uncertain and things are getting slow, that's a good time to make sure that you are really clear on how you talk about what you do and that you have something that someone could buy from you. When people stop buying, they don't stop buying everything, right? Have you completely stopped buying everything? No. Organizations haven't stopped buying everything. They stop buying things that aren't essential. So the question becomes in this moment, how can you be more essential? How can your services be more essential? I'll give you an example of someone who is thriving in the current season. I just spoke with one of my past clients, and he is collaborating with someone who has positioned themselves as the go-to expert, the person who works with nonprofit organizations when they have their funding cut and their backs are up against the wall. What do? This person has a branded offer to help them to come in and be that person that solves that problem. That's how I want you to think. Now, the pushback I often get from this is, well, how do you choose, Annie? And I do a lot of different things. And isn't it kind of a big risk to go all in on something in the middle of a storm? What I'm encouraging you to do with packaging your process is not a forever choice. It's a for right now choice, something that you could go sell tomorrow. And I want to teach you how that's not a lifelong commitment and is actually going to help you move forward. What I have found and what I have heard other people say is when you sell one thing, you sell everything. I believe I heard this from Stacey Harris of the More Profitable podcast. When you sell one thing, you sell everything. So don't worry about it being the perfect thing for the perfect person and that you're picking someone forever. I'm going to teach you how this actually works in real life. Just last week, I had someone reach out. We did a free consultation, and within 24 hours, she booked my one-to-one service, Package Your Process with the Expert, where we do this work to help you get clear on your elevator pitch and a branded offer and give you the tangible tools to sell it. Now, what's interesting about that is the story she told me about how she found me. She was talking to her friend, who is a fellow speaker, and also someone that I've known over many years that I have kept up a good relationship with. And I had lunch with her friend a couple months ago, and I was very clear on what I do, the problem I solve, and my offer. So when this client talked to my friend, she said, "Oh, you should talk to Annie." So the person who became my client, her first step was to head to LinkedIn to check me out, see if I was legit, right? There she sees me promoting Business Boost Read Along with the Author, which is a book club. And she was like, I don't know if that's for me. But she goes to the website, she looks at it, she goes through the whole website, she finds the podcast, she listens to an episode about brand voice, and that compels her to reach out and talk to me. And that, in a snapshot, is how this can work. This person didn't book my $19 offer. She booked my one-to-one consulting offer. But, what if I hadn't been talking about that, right? What if I hadn't been out there in the world? And what if, especially, I hadn't talked to my friend who referred her, right? What if I hadn't been clear? What if I hadn't optimized all those relationships? What you just heard is a really good example of embracing your story. That whole story starts because I'm clear upon what I do and I can say it over lunch. And I'm out there talking about something specific. So it doesn't always have to be the slam dunk of, oh, I booked the thing that I talked about. You want to be out there talking in general, talking about what you do, about the problems you solve, and offering something specific for sale. There's a great episode on this, episode 7, which is all about how to test out a niche before you completely rebrand. And I talk a lot about how to brand offers using my Package Your Process method. I'll put it here in the show notes for you. But that is how this works. When you are facing a lot of chaos in the world and slow times in general, I want you to reach for these ideas. I want you to embrace your story, get clear on how to talk about what you do, make sure you have an offer that you can sell tomorrow, and be out there talking about it. If this resonated with you and you want to take action, this is what I help people do. As I touched on earlier, I do offer Package Your Process with the Expert, where you and I work together to get clear on how to talk about what you do. I help you come up with a clear elevator pitch. We brand and name a signature service that is essential even in wild times like this, and give you tangible tools so that you can talk about what you do. Try out an offer and get clients tomorrow, not 6 months from now when you finally figure out TikTok. I offer free consultations where we can take a closer look at whether this would be the right thing to move you forward given what's going on in the world. And this is the part that I want to warn you about as we are weathering a storm together. I don't want you to jump into the tactic tornado. Oh, I got to do this webinar. I got to do this class. I got to do this course. I got to try this thing without really even thinking, well, what is it that I am promoting? What is it that I am trying to sell? When you get swept up in that tactic tornado, you end up down the black hole of internet marketing. I've been there myself, and I don't want you there. I want you ready to catch fire, to have your lighter ready. And so here is your survival kit in uncertain times. Embrace your story, get clear on your message and offer by packaging your process. And when you do that general marketing, you are going out there with a story that is going to get people's attention and isn't going to get you swept up in the tactic tornado. You're not just going to survive the storm, you're going to be thriving when your lighter finally catches. Hey, do you like surprises? The credits are about to roll, but just like a Marvel movie, stick around to the end for something I put in just for you. Thanks for listening to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and if you're enjoying the show, it would mean so much to me if you follow it, leave a quick rating, or share it with a friend. And for free branding resources and more ways to work together, head to greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now here it is. your moment of magic. I'm actually at the happiest place on earth right now, Walt Disney World, and I'm choosing to be here, dreaming up the next few months ahead for my business instead of getting lost in the tactic tornado. I'm doing that because I believe being in business for yourself should be fun, even and maybe especially when times are uncertain. What I've realized, one of the few things that we can actually control is finding joy in our days. And sometimes that includes Mickey shaped snacks.